Just because I can. That's why I do, man. It's Rhyme and Reason 881. Here's your rhyme and reason. Oh, yeah. Hey there, Tony here. Do you have siblings? You know, brothers and sisters? If so, did you ever get into arguments with them when you were kids? Nah, who does that, right? I mean, seriously, if you have a brother or sister, or a bunch of them like Elgeline does, you most likely had at least a disagreement or three, right? Am I right? Huh? Come on. And you might remember answering that old why question with the most profound reply of all, just because, that's why. Is any of this sounding familiar? Yeah, especially if you were the older sibling. After all, everyone knows the younger siblings are always the most annoying with their why questions and their why not questions and their constant breathing in and out. You older or oldest siblings, you know what I'm talking about. Just because that worked most of the time. At least until those pesky little varmints gained a little more vocabulary. Oh, the good old days before that, right? But I didn't bring up all this just because, I want to wax sentimental about bygone days of youth. I've got something else on my mind right now. Yeah, love. Now, before you so-called manly men mutter something ridiculous under your breath, this ain't about the gushy-mushy love stuff. In fact, I'm not even going to bring up the opposite sex, except to tell you I'm not going to bring them up. Nope, it's more important than that. And it's the only reason you and I have even a remote ability or opportunity to get or give love. And no matter how manly or aloof you think you are, you need that intangible, most profound emotion of them all. At least if you want to have a life with depth and meaning, and I suppose there are plenty of you who don't. You want to be shallow and meaningless. But let's go on. Of course, I'm talking about how and why love even exists at all in this messed up old world. Ironically, atheists and evolutionists would say it's just because, or some form of that, since they believe we're all here by chance. Yeah, by millions of years worth of random mutations that began in a chaotic explosion. That makes total sense, right? A chaotic explosion created all this precision and complex design that we have now. Yep, you can clearly see how that would have happened. Nope. We're all here because of God's love. Simple as that. And because he gave us the ability to love or hate with our own free will. That's why I wrote a song to acknowledge why I would even express love to the unseen God of creation. I've shared it and the lyrics before, but in this time of such a hate-filled world, I'm going to share it again. It's called Because I Can Love.
What made you think that I was worth the risk you took? What made you take the time to write your holy book? I don't believe I'd give myself a second look, but you did because you love. You made a world that was as perfect as could be, but then I broke it when you gave it all to me. By going through the gate you made to set me free. This you did because you love. You love me because you love me so. In spite of all you know, because you did the most that you could ever do. Because I clearly see evidence of you in me. Because I can love, I do love you. You put a life and a will inside my soul. You knew true love would be to give me full control, but knowing you is all all that ever makes me whole. I trust you because you love me, because you love me so, in spite of all you know, because you did the most that you could ever do, because I clearly see evidence of you in me, because I can love, I do love you. I can live because you live, and I can love because you love, because you love me so, in spite of all you know, because you did the most that you could ever do, because I clearly see evidence of you in me, because I can love, I do love, because you love me so, in spite of all you know, because you did the most that you could ever do, ever do, because I clearly see evidence of you in me, because I can love, I do love, because you love me so, in spite of all you know, because you did the most that you could ever do, ever do, because I clearly see evidence of you in me, because I can love, I do love you.
Yep, you and I can live because God lives, and you and I can love because He loves. He loved first and created us, and He gave us that same ability to love Him back. That's what I choose to do, because I want to be with the Creator forever. I want to be where life is forever. I hope you do too. That does it for this episode of the Rhyme and Reason podcast, brought to you, as always, by TonyFunderburk.com, a website that just happens to bear my name. What a coincidence. Go over there and get some good stuff, or especially go to TonyFunderburk.com/just because, and you can download this song, Because I Can Love, and a dozen more in one single download. You get 13 songs for, I don't know, $4.5 million, something like that. No, I think it's a little bit less than that. Anyway, go over and check it out. And if you want to listen to more samples, they're on the website too. I won't tell you where that is right now, but they're on the website. You'll hear samples if you want to. If not, just go ahead and get the download. Don't waste your time listening to the samples. Get the music. It's good, I promise. And as always, remember, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.